Good morning or evening or afternoon, depending on where you are, everyone. And welcome to another Top Echelon stream for the finals for the NA server. But this is quite a bit of a different kind of stream that you've been having so far. Yesterday we were streaming the finals because we got a room invite this time. But the server crashed several times during the whole final stage, and that meant that there were some very iffy victories by people, and it wasn't really a fair thing. So Wargaming said, well, tonight you get to do it again. And people don't really agree with that. So I'm going to take away the preview now so that you can see this is the group 4 that we have for you today. But like I said, it's not going to go as you are expecting it to. Because with everything that happened in the game yesterday, the server crash that kicked everyone out, and that meant that the one that logged in the soonest basically won one of the grand final matches. Not to mention the fact that one of the matches in an earlier stage was sort of like not happening at all. And people didn't get to ready up in time for it, so there was a technical win for one of the teams. Not to mention the fact that apparently the server has been having these issues for quite some time, and me playing usually on EU has not really noticed it so far. But I have now 3 times on the NA server, and from what I understood that today alone there have already been 3 random crashes throughout the day. So with that in mind, the teams tonight decided to do something very different altogether. They won't be showing up. And that means that basically they are boycotting the rest of the tournament. And everything considered, I understand that. I have been in communication with pretty much the whole team of all teams. And they wrote a statement to Wargaming, and they've asked me to read that on stream. So that is what I will be doing when we actually get to the point that we enter the room. Because I feel that it is kind of fitting to read that statement when we are in an empty room that will not be filled. In the meantime, the 4 teams will actually mostly probably be online, but they will be in a training room and they will just be having fun with it. And it's sort of like I said, it is a statement. They are trying to get a message across to Wargaming, and I sincerely hope that they actually get that message across. Because they, A, deserve it, and B, what is going on is not really acceptable in any way, so yeah. But right now, I'm really just filling the time until I can activate the stream on YouTube, and then we will get a room invite shortly after, and then I will read the statement to you. I also just lost an avatar. That is so mean. Stop taking my things. First you take my server, then you take the avatar. So mean, but yeah. And like I said, I'm just waiting for YouTube to catch up to what I am doing. And that should be followed by the room invite and then by the statement that I will read to you. And I actually have to give them massive respect and kudos for doing this, because it does take guts. And it is difficult to try and communicate with a company like Wargaming when you don't really have the feeling that you're being heard. And this is one way of making yourself be heard, really. So we are now live on YouTube, of course with the regular 5-minute delay, because I'm streaming this as if I were to stream a regular tournament battle, even though nothing could be further from the thingy. Further from the truth, that's the word I was looking for. So I'm just going to pause that stuff on YouTube, but I will keep an eye on the chat. And I have the whole statement ready. I just need the room invite so that we can get it started. And like I said, I sincerely hope that Wargaming will hear this and will pay attention to it. So let's see how long we have left. This is something that I've been doing quite a bit. We have about half a minute left before we get the room invite. And then I will start reading to you. Like I said, it is a statement that has been written by Void, Pincer, Purple and Resistance. And it is everything to do with the top echelon tournament for the NA server. And I sincerely hope that it reaches the right ears, and otherwise I will happily push for that. And oh Lord, I am going to ready up. People are accidentally accepting the room invite and they were not supposed to do that, but yeah. As I said, I'm going to read that statement now. I've been asked to do, and I fully respect that they wish to do this, so here we go. Dear Wargaming, on behalf of Void, Pincer, Purple and Resistance, we are writing to inform you of the reasons all 4 clans participating in the top echelon tournament decided to a joint decision of boycotting the rematch tournament. First of all, we appreciate that Wargaming is trying to make up for it by offering us a rematch, since that is what some of the players and teams wanted yesterday during the height of their emotions. However, after the games, all parties had some time to reflect on the situation, and we came to feel, as Hurricane Ike, I think I pronounced that right, put it into words best, to me a rematch is not the same anymore. The pride is not the same anymore, even if we win. But more than that, the teams involved in the tournament realized that there are much greater issues to be addressed for the sake of not only this tournament, but for the future tournaments as well, if not for the future of the game itself. Not only was there no communication at all about rescheduling the match, it was also rescheduled to an American holiday, Memorial Day, which means that a lot of people already had plans and were unlikely to make it. To reschedule a match, it would be much more logical to do it on a day that players had already been participating in tournaments, as they are very likely to be able to make it then, such as the Sunday after the original Sunday these matches were supposed to take place. This top echelon tournament is supposed to be one of the major tournaments of the year, and when you consider the amount of work all teams had to put in to get to this tournament, it should really be treated as a major tournament by Wargaming as well. Teams have to play nearly all the Ascent tournament for months to get into the top 8, and we all feel we deserve better than this. In a true major tournament, it is unacceptable to have dedicated streamers staying up until 3 AM only to not have a tournament invite at 2 of the 3 stages. And when the streamers finally do get their invites for the final stage, the battles are plagued by server lag and crashes, which have been occurring on the server for months now. For all the top echelon teams here, participating in tournaments is a top priority for us, and we love playing this game because of them. When Wargaming decides to do nothing regarding the server issues, not just the crashes, but also the ghost shells, the pink spikes, the package loss, the updates bugs, and etc., and things like this happen amidst what is supposed to be a major tournament time, it just lets everyone down, especially since these issues have been reported 1 or 2 months ago already, and should have been addressed weeks ago. Server issues aside, numerous players have also been complaining about the rewards for tournaments in general. For this tournament in particular, a tournament that requires 2 months of dedication from each team looking to secure a spot for the top echelon, 700 gold per player for winning first place in the top echelon is hardly a fair reward for all the effort and time the players have put in. To put it in our perspective, with 700 gold, you're still 300 gold short of buying max crew for a single tier 10 tank. We play these tournaments for our pride and honor to our clans, but the way Wargaming is handling things, it feels like an event that Wargaming does not care about, and there is no pride nor honor to play in it. The prices only seem to reflect this further. On top of that, a major tournament should not be played in best of 3 only, especially the final stage. The professionals tournament was run in a good format with more respectable rewards, and though we understand that the top echelon won't be as big as the professionals tournament, there's no less dedication involved. We feel that the balance in prizes between the two tournaments is lost. We understand that of course the professionals tournament is more prestigious and deserves better rewards, but we also know Wargaming can do better than this for such a big tournament like the top echelon. With that being said, we would like to conclude that if Wargaming is not going to treat their tournaments seriously, there is little reasons for the players to take them seriously either. We hope that in the future Wargaming can manage the community feedback better, so that we can avoid many of the issues that occurred in this tournament. We asked Wargaming to prioritize stable gameplay, mainly the servers and game mechanics, over adding new game dynamics. We are quite worried that despite the cool idea behind the flying turret that is coming in 6.0, it may end up causing more issues such as more crashes into the game itself. We ask Wargaming to please listen to the community more efficiently on matters like this, and to communicate with the players involved when issues arise, since the community is very passionate about this game. I'm going to go back to the room so that we can look onto it further and continue. We would also like to thank the streamers who commit so much of their time to helping expose the game to others and allow players to watch us. And once again, we would like to acknowledge Wargaming's good intention with the rematch, but the damage has already been done to the tournament as a whole. In contrast, if this was a quick tournament, our concerns would not be so strong, but because this is a major tournament, it is different. To us, how Wargaming decides to continue with this specific tournament is not our concern. We just like to put this tournament in the past and move on. Though these issues are addressed by us now, we know that a large part of the competitive community thinks the same way. We hope Wargaming understands and respects our boycott of the rematch, and hope that our frustration was presented in a respectful manner, and we ask the community to continue providing their valuable, respectful and constructive feedback to Wargaming. Sincerely, Void, Resistance, Purple and Pincer. That is the whole of the statement that I've been asked to read to you on stream. That is basically it. I'm going to wait for this to be a technical loss as well. Mocha is in the room, but he can't really do anything about that once he has entered it. But like I said, nothing is happening tonight, and I really hope that this statement reaches the right ears at Wargaming, and that especially the server issues for the North American server will be looked into with all diligence and with all haste, really, because this has been happening for apparently 1 to 2 months, and the players have been reporting it since then. And me as a non-NA player haven't really noticed much about it. But if my game were to kick me out several times during the day, I would not be a happy camper. And in this game, it is very likely that people are campers. So let's see what happens here. I should be kicked out after we have the loading screen, and then I will conclude the stream. It is still trying. We go to the tiebreaker now. We have Faust as a map. But yeah, I think all that should be said has been said now. And like I said, I hope this statement reaches Wargaming. I will do my utmost best to make sure that they at least pay heed to it and listen to it. And I don't really have any influence in Wargaming itself, but I hope that they take this to heart and that they understand where these 4 clans, which are quite known for their whole clan war thing, that they take them seriously and that they understand where they are coming from. So we have just over a minute left to go. I don't really have much more to add aside from repeating what has already been said. And at least I got a room invite, let's put it that way. But yeah, the room invite before, that was human error, and I can understand that, but everything together, and especially with the server crashes, that are things that should not happen. And that are things that, when they happen, it should be fixed as fast as possible, as soon as possible, with all due haste. And from what I understood, the crashes themselves aren't even limited to Blitz only. They also happen to console. So it's actually 2 games of Wargaming, at least, that are affected by this. And I don't understand how, after 1 or 2 months, that still isn't fixed. Or that there still hasn't been any announcement regarding it being fixed at X time or whatever. So we are almost there. We are entering this final countdown, and that should be the end of the match. No one goes through, the tournament ends. And that is it. We have one more loading screen here. And then we go back to the garage. The room is gone. And that is it for this tournament. I bid you all a good night. Thank you for watching, thank you for your attention, and I hope you will, like they said, continue to give wargaming valuable, respectful and constructive feedback. Good night.